Well, hello, everybody, and this is Auntie, and I am here to talk about 90 Day Fiancé Armando breaks down after his daughter Hannah's medical emergency. Let's talk about it, shall we? Oh, yes, we shall.
A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers to my nieces and nephews, and all of y'all who have been here through the long haul. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for auntie to rise. Sweet old. It's time for auntie to rise. It's time for auntie to rise.
Well, welcome back, everybody, and this is Auntie. I'm hoping that you all had a great day on purpose. For those of you all who don't know, right now, Armando and Kenny from 90 Day Fiance are in dire needs of our prayers, our sincere good wishes for Armando's daughter, Hannah. As you all know, we all fell in love with little Miss Hannah, who was just a little girl when we were introduced to her on the 90 Day Fiance show. She has been a beloved cast member for a long time, and we have watched her grow up into a beautiful teenager. But just the other day, we started getting some posts from Armando regarding a medical crisis that Hannah is experiencing right now. I'm going to share with you some of the video updates that he has given us. But let me give you, before I do that, let me let you know what's happening. Okay. So, according to Armando, Hannah suddenly began feeling ill before experiencing some alarming neurological yeah, symptoms. He noticed one side of her face appeared to be droopy. And so then she started experiencing weakness on one side of her body. Many people in the comment section thought that it was maybe a stroke or Bell palsy. Um, because sometimes we all think internet doctors. People don't mean any harm by it. It's just, when you hear something like that and you know someone who may have experienced something similar, you kind of, get out there with your own diagnosis. But the two of them began to fear that something was really wrong, and so they rushed Hannah to the emergency care. According to Armando, Hannah suddenly began, um, like I said, feeling really sick, and so the doctors, when they started examining Hannah, they realized that this was not something that was Bill palsy, if you know what I mean. They immediately determined that she needed more advanced treatment than what was available to them locally. And so Hannah was and has been transferred to another hospital. And this was before being transferred and transported to the US. Um, I want to make sure y'all hear me. I'm in this stuff because I want to make sure I report this with dignity and respect for the family. Um, and she was transported across the U.S. Mexico border. And then they airlifted her to a specialized children's hospital in Phoenix, Arizona. Um, Imaging later on revealed bleeding in Hannah's brain, and the physicians immediately began extensive testing in an effort to determine what caused the hemorrhage. And so, despite multiple scans and consultations from specialists, the doctors have not yet identified what this underlying medical cause is. The medical team, according to reports, have continued performing additional diagnostic testing while closely monitoring her condition. Now, Armando, as you all going to see in these videos, was very emotional because, of course, this is his daughter. They have flown her into the United States, and there was a visa that he is talking about, or a pass or something like that, that used to be in existence that would allow him to go and see Hannah, cross the Mexico American borderline, but he can't. And so I'm gonna let him tell a story. Um, he has definitely been emotional, as he should, as any parent would. He has described this experience as one of the most painful moments of his life, saying that being separated from his daughter during such a critical time has been extremely devastating to him. They have put up a GoFundMe, and I believe so far over the last couple of days they have raised already $65,000, because of course they have to pay for that care, I believe, out of their pocket, especially since they're across the line. So without me saying anything, let me let Armando speak, okay? So here we go.
Hi guys, I want to give you guys a quick update. My head's all over the place, so I hope I make sense. But I do think it's only fair based on my last post that I made, and I know a lot of you have a lot of questions and are wondering, and I do appreciate all the nice comments and prayers for my Hannah. I did go to the border to see about the humanitarian visa, and unfortunately they told me that as of 2 years ago that they took them out, like they don't longer exist, so you can't get any of that type of visa at the ports of entry. So that plan failed. In regards to Hannah, we were home this morning or at my parents'. I was at my shop, and Hannah called me next door, and she said she wasn't feeling good. She's crying. I went over. I noticed like her face was droopy, half of her face, and her lips and stuff, and half of her body had no strength. So immediately took her to the doctor. When we got to the doctor, they did tell us her levels were normal in the sense of no high blood pressure, which was strange to the doctor because she said usually with stuff like this that she knew with the symptoms that it was something with the brain, but it was strange given her age and also the fact that she didn't have high blood pressure, which would be a huge symptom for that. So then she suggested we transport her somewhere else because unfortunately we do live in a small town and they don't have the equipment, the scans and all that stuff. So we had to transport her somewhere else. It was undecided as a family and suggested as well that what if, we send her to the States where there is that belief that there's better equipment, better scans and all that, and especially with something so critical with like the brain. And so we decided to do that. Kenny's not home, he's in Ohio. And so my mom decided, I can cross with her into the States, and they took her in the ambulance and they took her to Yuma, Arizona, where they checked her. Again, they don't understand it fully, but they did. With one of the scans, they found that there's like blood in her brain, and so they're looking into that, but they still don't have answers. So they had to um, airlift her to Phoenix, Arizona, to the ICU there. And so where they're checking her, they're doing more tests. As of now, I don't have more answers. They're still doing tests on her. Um, and Kenny's flying first thing tomorrow morning there. Um, but unfortunately, I can't be there, which is the hardest part of it all. Not of it all, but just a hard part. So just a lot going on. But thank you guys for thinking of us. And I will post as soon as I have answers. Like I said, I don't have answers yet, but hopefully first thing in the morning I have more answers. But thank you guys.
So you all can see and hear, this appears to be very serious. He said that it was, he tried to apply for a humanitarian visa. I could not remember what it was. But he said that they have gotten rid of it 2 years ago. And so do with that as you will. But that is no longer available to him. So Kenny can come to the United States and be with Hannah, but Armando cannot. And I know that that has got to be ripping him up inside. Let's look at another video where he gave an update.
Good morning. I just want to take a minute to address something really quick in regards to me being with Hannah or not. I have seen tons of comments of people literally assuring that I am with Hannah already, which is completely false. We have never stated that because it's just not true. As I had mentioned in a previous post, and I'll update more on that, is I went to the border. The hospital directly sent the border, the gravity of the situation, how Hannah was being airlifted to Phoenix, to the ICU. They directly sent all the necessary documents to the border. When I arrived at the border, I arrived with my documents as well. Every document, well, it was only a 1-minute conversation where he just asked what I wanted and he responded what he had. Never was the letter from the hospital reviewed, and never were any of my documents asked of me or anything. Nothing was checked. I was just told, nope, we do not do this here, and there's no other place at any port of entry, so there's no option for you. And on my way I went. So I think I mentioned in comments and stuff here and there that we do have an immigration attorney, Kelsey, who is on it, and we're seeing other options and other ways to hopefully get me to Hannah, because this is a very difficult part for me. And I know she needs me and I need her. I'm happy to say that Kenny's with her, and that brings me some comfort. But yeah, as of now, there's no, I'm away, and just, they're keeping me informed as best they can. But I am not with Hannah yet. Just wanted to clear that up, and I just wish people stop assuring in comments something that is just completely false.
And I agree with him. If you don't know and you're not part of the family and you're not in the in to know, you should not be on social media saying that Armando is with his daughter. This is already hard enough for this man. I mean, you talking about a baby. Hannah's a teenager. And for someone to go out there, whether or not they had good intentions or not, good intentions don't mean anything when a family is in crisis. Stand down and shut up. Let this family deal with it. They have been kind enough and they trust us enough and love us as a 90-day fiance family to share what is happening with Hannah. And for me, that's all that needs to be said about this situation. Unless Kenny comes out or Armando and they say exactly what it is, no one else has the authority to say, hey, I know that Armando is connected with his daughter. This is devastating to him, as it would be to any parent. And people just need to learn how to stand down and shut up sometimes. Everything isn't 90-day fodder and jokes and games. Seriously. Let's listen to this last video from Armando giving us an update.
Guys, so I just spoke to Kenny. He said the MRI gave no answers. The next step, I think they said they were going to do an androplasty to see if they get answers like through there, or most likely they will. They think, but that means they have to put her out. They have to put her out, and I guess they go through her neck. And that could be, she could be under that for 1 day, hours, and in hopes of getting answers to see what the problem is. So it's definitely scary hearing that, scary hearing the neck part. I miss my baby girl. I don't want to lose her. Please keep her in your thoughts and prayers, guys. Please. And thank you all that have supported, even on the GoFundMe and everything, that all the love that's coming our way. I can't thank any of you enough. You guys all have been angels through this and made it a little easier, even though I can't be with her. Love you all, guys.
That's hard. That is hard. That's hard. The grief, the fear, and not being able to be there. Not being able to be there increases everything else. Because you want to trust God, you want to pray about it, you need the prayers of everybody around you, but you still got to fight through that mind. When he said, I don't want to lose her, whew, that's rough. Y'all keep them in. Y'all keep Kenny and Armando and baby Hannah. The doctors are continuing, y'all, to work to determine what caused Hannah's brain bleed. And as you all can see from Armando, there's no definitive diagnosis, or at least they haven't been in a position to share that information. But y'all, please continue to keep them in your hearts, in your prayers, as they wait for answers. She is still under the care of specialists. And when Armando updates us, or Kenny, I will be sure to come back out and update you. This is really, really sad because, like I said, we watched her grow up on the show. There are some 90-day cast members who are beloved to us. Yeah, we drag all of them, We call it as we see it. But Kenny and Armando have been beloved in the 90 Day Fiancé family, at least from me. Because y'all know I don't like half of them, but I have grown to love Kenny and Armando. They mind their business. They take care of their baby. They share what they can. And it means a lot that they want to keep us updated. As I said, they have a GoFundMe um, that is available. So search them out on TikTok and on Instagram. Y'all know I don't share GoFundMe's on my page. But if you would like to contribute towards the hospital bill, I'm sure lodging and all of that kind of stuff for Kenny while he is in Arizona, please feel free to help them. I think that this is one of the first GoFundMe's in a long time that I have thought is worthy of giving to. Um, and so I don't want to belabor it, find myself on here crying and stuff. But y'all keep them in y'all prayers. Keep them in your prayers. They need all the prayers that they can get, especially since she's so young. And now they got to trace this back and find out, what's going on. And of course, we all know that medical care is not cheap. Tests are not cheap. Um, I'm gonna go on that note. Again, I will keep y'all posted as new information comes in. Please try to stay away from putting diagnosis and what you think in the chat, especially under their posts. We cannot be internet doctors. This seems to be really serious. So just kind of try to refrain from I think that Armando did not want to come at first. Wendy, I see your comment. I don't believe that Armando wanted to come here. At least that's how I remember it. But anyway, I love y'all. And y'all have a great night on purpose. Bye, y'all.